Welcome to another episode of Software Explorations, Concepts and Overviews, hosted by yours truly, Tech Coach Ralph, where we are engineered to win. In today's episode, I am bringing to you something very, very cool. A new product just released. It's still in preview mode by our good friends at Amazon Web Services. It is called App Studio. So what is App Studio? We're going to get into that. We actually went into it last week ad hoc. I wasn't even expecting to do this, but our good friend, one of the greatest moderators to ever walk the face of this earth, Yakar, had sent me a link talking about AWS App Studio. I was like, are we able to use this now? They put it in preview mode on Wednesday of last week, which was July 10th, 2024. And then on July 11th, I learned about this and he said, you know what? We have to do this tonight. So we went and we did a live stream, a preliminary live stream, started figuring it out. And I said, you know what? I need to do a concept overview on this to help us have a better understanding of what this software actually is, what this product actually is, how can it be useful to you and your company, especially if you might have some type of technical knowledge and background, but you are not a software engineer, a front-end developer, whatever the case may be. So we're going to break that down today. That is the plan of this show today. Hopefully you find it very helpful and informative. Do me a favor, before we go on, like the video, share the video, and subscribe to the channel, and go over to techcoachralph.dev. Sign up for the Patreon. We have one-on-one coaching available, as well as access to exclusive content, crazy stuff that we do in there. So much fun, so much to learn. So do that, techcoachralph.dev, and we will run it up from there, right? But let's not waste any time. Without further ado, let's get into our presentation about AWS, Amazon Web Services App Studio. All right, let's do it. All right, so AWS App Studio, the fastest and easiest way to build enterprise-grade applications. Say it ain't so, How is this even possible? Well, let's find out. So, our agenda for today. What exactly is AWS App Studio? How does it work? Who is it designed for? What are the benefits of using it? What are some limitations, in my opinion, which might change in the future, or I could just not be knowledgeable about it yet? What are some use cases? What can you use it for? What's the pricing model that AWS is offering for this? And how can we see a demo of this application? Which, while I have done a demo on it, and we're going to continue doing this demo on it, I would definitely encourage you to also go in and start to play around with it yourself. You're going to find out why, right? So let's get to it. So what exactly is AWS App Studio? AWS App Studio is a generative AI powered service that uses natural language to build enterprise grade applications, empowering a new set of builders to create applications in just minutes. And because we did this already this past week, which I'll put a thing where you can click on the video. So I just cut a clip of it where we did it in 15 minutes from after we were able to log in to being able to give it a prompt of exactly what we want. It was about 2 sentences, right? And then we said build, and then it started doing its magic in the background, and boom, there we had something that we could look at already, right? So I can attest that it is in literally minutes. With App Studio, technical professionals without deep software development skills, such as project managers, data engineers, and enterprise architects, can quickly develop business applications tailored to their organization's need. This is such a game changer, so important. And I'll give you some examples of why later on, but we'll talk about it. We will talk about it, but I think this is absolutely amazing, absolutely stunning. So what are the features of App Studio, right? So it allows you to accelerate application creation with generative AI powered assistant. It allows you to improve security and governance with guardrails, connect to your data seamlessly, extend the custom functionality, and publish and share your applications with ease, allowing your employees or your team to be able to work on this application that you published within minutes. So let's talk about the generative AI assistant, right? Simply describe the application you need, and the generative AI powered assistant will generate the application, including user interfaces, data models, and business logic. I'll give you a quick example, right? I gave like 2 or 3 sentences. I said, I need an application for a debt collection agency where it keeps track of whether the call, like the agent that's calling for the person in debt, to say whether they got hung up on, whether they were able to collect the money, or whether they're able to put them on a payment plan, right? And then it did its magic, and then within minutes, it gave us something, right? So with low-code environment that includes a drag-and-drop visual canvas and AI helpers, you can customize the layout, functionality, and app-level roles for custom UI and data views without professional software development skills. So, and this is a picture right here of the screen that I use. So this is not the one that I use, but this is the one from AWS. But it looks just like this, and I type in, I want to build whatever it is. So in this case, it says, I want to build an inventory management app for IT equipment. I manage laptops, desktops, and accessories such as mice, keyboards, and monitors. The app should take requests from employees, track them in a dashboard, and automatically assign them after I approve a request. The main pages in this app include a submission page for employees to request hardware and new assets, a review page for me to review requests, and a page where I can add new hardware assets on the dashboard showing open requests. I should be able to accept or reject the request. Absolutely amazing. So then App Studio says, analyzing prompt and generating app requirements. Please don't refresh the page, right? And then it says your app is ready for review. Generating app overview from requirements. Please wait. And I saw all this firsthand because I was using it, right? So then you get on the right side where it says about your app, and it gives you a user story, right? A feature. As an admin, I want to add new hardware assets to the inventory so that I can track all the equipment. And it gives you the user flows. So what the employees are going to do, what the admin is going to do, the data sources, how it's going to store it in the database, all of that good stuff, right? Absolutely amazing to see how it broke down the user story, and it broke down the different roles that be using it, and how it's going to sort of the data, all that good stuff. Like, I was super impressed by how quickly it was able to do it as well. So, improved security. AWS App Studio provides granular access controls policies over your data and application, enables UI and data views per user within your application through custom app level roles, and gives central IT the visibility they require. App Studio also offers secure authentication through standard corporate identity providers, AWS Identity and Access Management Identity Center, and supports authentication per user for integrating with third-party service as a software applications. And when I was using it, if you go and you check out the live stream, or you'll see that or you check out the clip from the live stream, right? You'll see that after it finishes provisioning your App Studio, you go and you click on a link, and it takes you to a login page, and then you have to log in with your username and password, and that's what your users would be logging into, and then they would get in there and they would be able to do whatever it is that they're doing. So it's very, very secure because it's using the same identity and access management center that your regular AWS is using. So if you're using two-factor authentication, all that good stuff, you can force it, whatever you need to do. It's as secure as you make it, right? And so here is a picture of document intelligence and with permissions and stuff like that, how you can set it up, all of that good stuff. Really, really cool interface as well, I must say. Right. So now connecting your data. App Studio provides a large selection of pre-built connectors for seamless integration with your enterprise data sources. When I was using it, I said, okay, do you want to connect to this database or that database, and all these different places you can get data inside of AWS, as well as if you had a database externally to AWS, you should be able to make a connection to that as well, as long as the permissions are worked out properly, all of that good stuff. All right. Additionally, App Studio offers API and open API connectors to integrate with hundreds of third-party services, including dedicated Salesforce connector. App Studio also supports authentication per user for integrating with third-party service as a software applications. That's saying that if your application needs to connect into some other API, including Salesforce, they have a dedicated Salesforce connector, right? Because a lot of companies, they use Salesforce to be able to manage certain things, to take leads in and stuff like that. It can connect to Salesforce, and you can see exactly, you can pull in whatever data that you need, as well as if you need to make API calls, whatever the case may be, it can do it. It can do it. Groundbreaking technology. So this is the screen of if you're going to be creating a new connector, which I'm supposed you can have multiple connectors, right? But you need to configure it, say, okay, these are the AWS connectors, Amazon S3, Amazon Redshift, Amazon Aurora, Amazon DynamoDB, whatever the case may be, right? And then if there's other ones you need to connect to, not a problem. So here you're going to choose that connector. It's going to say, okay, this is what type of data you want from here, all that good stuff. But so this part, like you'd either have to, if you have your data already existing and you want to pull it into this new application, you could do that. If you don't have any data yet, then it's going to be creating this database for you and storing it as it sees fit. Right. So custom functionality. What can you customize with AWS App Studio? So App Studio can visually define the business logic for your application using a sequence of actions connected to the underlying data stores and services. This allows you to extend the capabilities of your application by incorporating complex business logic tailored to your needs, unlocking a wide range of possibilities. Let me explain this real quick, right? Even if you have a technology company, a software development company, whatever the case may be, that doesn't necessarily mean that you want to have your software developers building internal tools. This right here is like you can have your project manager, you can have whoever saying, okay, this is something that we need to manage the team here internally for the company. It's not necessarily affecting, like it's not necessarily our bread and butter, the software that we build. So you can go and have people who don't have much experience in coding build something to support the day-to-day activities of the company. This is why I see this as so groundbreaking. All right. So let's keep going. So this screen right here is a picture of the dashboard of how you can set up your automation, how you can say, okay, this is going to connect to this, and this is the workflow that's going to be using. I haven't even gotten into this part yet, but this is really, really cool how you can build out this workflow and how you can make different things connect and say, if this happens and go here, if that happens and go here, and like, you know, and it can integrate with Slack, all that. So we're going to definitely try this out because I am so curious to see how all this works. All right. But first, before we go any further, do me a big favor. If you haven't done so already, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. This is such great information about AWS App Studio. If you want additional content and additional, if you want to connect with me one-on-one, get some coaching, all that good stuff, go over to techcoachralph.dev, sign up for the Patreon, and we can connect. You can get one-on-one coaching, and I can help you gain experience in the tech industry, whatever it is you need, so that we can win together. We can run it up. All right. Let's go back to our presentation. So you can also publish and share applications. App Studio provides separate development, testing, and production deployment environments so that you can preview in real time and test your application for verification with real data sources before publishing. So you don't want to just publish your thing and then hopefully it works. No, this is going to be what your company is using so that they can facilitate their work a lot easier, a lot faster, with a lot less overhead and resources. Let the software engineers go out there and build software so that we can make more money. Let's not have them bogged down in helping build day-to-day company operations software, right? So the streamlined publishing and sharing process ensures your applications are easily accessible to the intended users. Keyword, the intended users, not anybody else from the outside, all right? And this is the picture of like, once you're ready to publish your application. It says you're about to publish your application from testing to production. The publishing process will take about 15 minutes to complete. So after you get everything working the way that you want, you go and you publish it. It's gonna do its magic, and then you will be able to access it and do what you do. All right. So how does this work? How does AWS App Studio work, anyways? Right. So App Studio uses generative AI throughout the product to make it faster and easier to build an application. Describe the application you want to build, such as build an app to review and approve invoices. Simple as that. And then it's going to start doing its magic. And then you can put more prompts. Okay, I actually want to do this. The same way if you were talking to ChatGPT or Gemini or whatever the case may be, you can have a conversation with it, and it's going to adjust the app to make it exactly what you need. And this is from what I'm reading so far, what I saw when I tried it out the other day. App Studio will generate the new application, including a user interface for listing and approving invoices, a data model for the approval record, and business logic for routing approval records and notifying the owners. Additionally, embedded buttons within the App Studio building experience make it easier to build and test by generating sample data, enriching data models, and generating sample service configurations. Throughout the building journey, you can ask questions such as, how do I hide a table component? And App Studio will provide a contextual answer based on the product documentation and the application. Can you get better than that? To me, like I said, this is totally groundbreaking technology. All right, so who is this for? Right, who is this for? So App Studio is for technical people who have technical expertise, but are not professional developers. So people such as IT project managers, data engineers, product owners, enterprise architects, DevOps engineers, and many more, right? And we're enabling them to build enterprise-grade apps. This is directly from AWS, right? And the people who created App Studio, the whole thought and theory behind it. Now, why is this important? Like I was just saying, if I am running a company that is building software, right? I don't want my engineers focused on building internal apps, because guess what? We don't make much money off the internal apps that we use to run our day-to-day operations. I would rather getting something like an AWS App Studio to build something to track whatever we want to track, and then allowing and enabling my engineers to build software that's going to make the company more and more money. Another example, let's say you have an accounting firm, right? A small accounting firm, and there is some type of data that you need to track, whatever it may be. I'm not too familiar with accounting, but there's some data you need to track that your employees need to track. They need to input information in, right? Let's say tracking how many people they did taxes for. Who knows, whatever, right? You could use this to say, I need an application. You could describe it to the T and have AWS App Studio create it for you. And this is why I see this as so groundbreaking, okay? So what are the benefits of AWS App Studio, right? So it accelerates application development with a generative AI-powered assistant, right? It allows you to deploy highly scalable applications without operational overhead, enhance security and governance that highlights that delights the IT, the information technology team, right? And then you can save up to 80% versus comparable offerings. This is what AWS is saying. Do I know what the comparables are offering? I do not know, but I do know if you're able to get a software developer to build your internal apps for you, that is going to cost you a lot, and you're probably going to need more than one as well. So just by this, I can see how this is such a huge cost saving. So what are some limitations? These are the limitations that I see, right? It's an internal application only. So it can only build the internal application. What does that mean? So it's not like you're building some no-code, full-scale software that you're going to be offering to the public. No, this is designed to help facilitate your company's needs, your internal needs. So you can build like I was saying with the accounting company, you can build an application that's going to help facilitate your employees, your users within the company to be able to work and get things done, right? It probably has, I haven't seen this yet complete yet, but it probably has limited UI capabilities, which I'm pretty sure over time they're going to make enhancements, but you have to think about this, right? It's not like you're creating some application that you're going to be selling on, that people are going to download your software from the App Store or anything like that. This is for internal use. So for internal use applications, I can easily see why you're not super concerned about the UI and the UX of it. You want it to be easy to use, but you're not going to like break your back. So like, oh, it has to be exactly perfect, because we just need to have our employees, our users, to be able to input the data so we can track it somewhere. It gets into the database, and we can work on that, right? And I'm also going to say, the ability to customize code. Why do I say that as a limitation? It's a no-code solution. So while you see the data models and everything like that, I'm pretty sure that you are going to run into some limitations of things that you would like to do that you can't do. But based on the scale of type of software that you're building, it shouldn't be that big of a problem, right? For these in-house applications, there's going to be some limitations, but it should be able to get the job done. All right, so what are some use cases for using AWS App Studio? So from AWS site, there's the claims processing. And with the example that I used, it was a debt collection agency, right? And I just gave it a prompt. Like I said, go check out the video to see what exactly that we did. But claims processing, inventory management, project approval, audit, metrics, and reporting, right? So let's go into these. So claims processing, how would you use App Studio with that, right? You can build an application that automates the manual and repetitive tasks of claims processing in minutes. The application can deal with large volumes of claims in custom processing workflows, such as data entry, file uploads, and status tracking. Very helpful, very efficient. Inventory management. Build an application that gives you a centralized view of inventory levels, equipment assignment, and reordering needs. You can connect your application to data sources to track parts compatibility information and record inventory levels. The application can automate notifications when compatibility complaints and returns each specified levels, reducing operational costs through efficient inventory management. We gotta love reducing operational costs. So important. So what about project approval? Build a low-code application for project managers to centralize the project intake, review, and approval process for your organization. And I'm actually going to send this to one of my tech barbarians because this would be an amazing thing for them to try out. The application can increase visibility into project status and approver information, as well as automate notifications and integrate with existing tools for contract management and project kickoffs. Amazing. So what about for audit? App Studio can create an application that reduces the need for paper-based inspections and issues reporting with digital forms and dashboards. It can connect to historical data sources, integrate with ticketing systems, and automate issue tracking, and gain real-time visibility into your operational health. So many different things you can do. Metrics and reporting. So using the App Studio point-and-click interface, you can build an application that brings together data from multiple sources into a single dashboard for sales, operations, and marketing. It can show live, up-to-date information from all underlying sources and then enables direct updates from team members. Craziness. So what exactly is the pricing model for AWS App Studio? So the builder, what you use to actually build the application, it is for the low price of a free $99. Free $99, yes, free $99 to use the builder. All right, that's just to use the builder. You can access the App Studio visual building environment to create, test, and manage apps for free. Now, what about if you actually publish an application so that all the users can use it? That, my friend, has a fee. It's 25 cents per user per hour. 25 cents per user per hour. How does that break down, right? So you'll be charged based on your consumption for the published apps of 25 cents per user per hour. So what does that mean? So what that means is if you build this application, let's say you have a small company of 5 people, right? You build this application and you allow all 5 users to use it. It's going to be, for every hour that each user uses, it's going to be 25 cents. So if your 5 users use it for 1 hour, it's going to be $1.25. If one user uses it for 1 hour and the other user use it for 2 hours, it's going to be the 25 cents times 4, which is $1, or times 8, which is $2, plus the 25 cents that one user did, right? So it's going to be $2.25. That's how it works. But it could get expensive if you use it all the time. But you have to think about how much would it cost you if you were to do a custom built software, if you had an in-house engineer to build this all the time and make updates and modifications to it like that, right? So it's actually a very, very good price. Actually, a very, very good price. I can't really compare prices to other things, but from what I see, show me something better, and then we can do a software exploration on that. And if I am wrong about this being a good price, I will own that and I stand corrected. All right. But for now, I see it as a pretty decent price for what you can actually do with it. So what are some demos of this, right? So we had the previous live stream, July 11th, 2024, where we ad hoc, we went and we tried this out. We got something created. There were some things that at the beginning of the live stream that we had to work around with like existing organizations that I had. It's only available in US West 2, the region in AWS. But towards the end of the show, we were able to get it going, get an app created, and the next step is going to be customizing it. So that being said, our upcoming live stream, July 18th, 2024, we're going to, and these links will be in the chat as well as, or not in chat, but in the comment or in the description, as well as at the end of the video is going to be a link that's going to take you directly to the upcoming live stream, and as well as you can click on the previous live stream, right? But we're going to continue with the project that we started last week, which was to create an app for a debt collection agency to be able to describe how much money they collected, what was the result of the call, all that. It was like kind of like a call log, right? So we're going to continue with that now that we got AWS Studio up and running. So you definitely want to tune into that, all right? So that is the end of it. In conclusion, we spoke about what AWS App Studio is, how it works, who it's designed for, the benefits of using it, some of the limitations that we currently have, the use cases around it, pricing model for it, and how you can see a demo of it. You can see how we started, and then you can join us this coming Thursday, which will be tomorrow, so that you can see us in action working on AWS App Studio. You can ask any questions, and I will do my best to get those answers for you, right? So with that being said, we are done. And thank you so much for tuning in. Hopefully you found this very, very informative and helpful. This is going to be game changing. If you have a small business, you can go into AWS, type exactly what you need to do, and have it magically created for you, and then you can get to work. Customize it, get what you need done. It's time to get more done and use AI for the right type of things. All right. So I am rooting for you, and I hope that you can actually get your hands on this. Try it out, see how it works, and see if it helps your company. Right? If you can have a software that your employees can use for 2 to 3 hours a week and be more efficient and more effective, then it sounds great. All right. I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Do me a big favor on your way out. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you can know every time that we go live and drop new content. And if you haven't done so already, go over to techcoachralph.dev, sign up for the Patreon where you get access to exclusive content, message me back and forth, join me for when I have office hours, send me your resume, I'll give you some feedback. And if you need one-on-one coaching, then go ahead and join the coaching group, become a tech barbarian or a tech prodigy member, and we can work together. We can run it up. You will not be left behind. We can win together. That is techcoachralph.dev. But on that note, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. See you guys tomorrow on tomorrow night's live stream where we're going to be working on AWS App Studio. On that note, this is Tech Coach Ralph, and we are out.
If you enjoyed the fascinating information shared in this video and you want more, be sure to hit the subscribe button to Tech Coach Ralph to be notified for new videos.